Today's episode is brought to you by Aqua 9 Plus all-natural ionic mineral alkaline drinking water. Aqua 9 Plus is one of the first and only all-natural ionic mineral bottled drinking waters in the world. It has one of the highest and most stable pH of any bottled water on the market, with a pH ranging from 9.5 to 10. And I gotta tell you, besides tasting great, high alkaline water has so many positive health benefits. It increases your endurance, it deactivates pepsin in the body, which helps reduce the occurrences of upset stomachs. It neutralizes pesticides and fungicides on produce. It increases oxygen delivery throughout the body, and it helps reduce heartburn and indigestion. When you consider that coffee can have a pH as low as 2, which is very acidic, that pH can be neutralized by using high pH water. And a medical study has suggested that alkaline ionized water may have benefits for people with high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. You can go to aqua9plus.com. That's AQUANINEPLUS.com to find the nearest store that sells Aqua 9 Plus all-natural ionic mineral alkaline drinking water. They also sell a home water system which produces purified ionic mineral 9.5 plus pH drinking water naturally directly in your home without the use of electricity.
And you
wow,
can also
that's cool.
Yeah, and you can also find filling stations at local grocery stores. If you go to their website, aqua9plus.com, they'll tell you where the nearest filling station is near you. So you go there with a 5-gallon jug or a 2-gallon jug, pay your money, and it fills it up, and it lasts for a couple of weeks.
There's actually one at Air One. There's all the Air Ones. It's a great water. It's really great water. It actually tastes great. We are grateful to have them on the show and supporting us.
Yes.
But I also love their water.
No, their water tastes great.
Hi guys, it's Cory Oliver with the Coriolis Effect, and today I want to talk a little bit about one of our sponsors, flightsport.com. We feel blessed enough to have this company as one of our sponsors. They're a great company. They're faith-based. It's flightsport.com. They have many supplements. They have t-shirts. They have clothing. But these are some of my favorite products that I've been using for almost a year. I started using them during COVID, and I'm taking them still. This is the Super Greens, which is yummy. Bob, it's yummy.
Try it right now.
I'm going to take it right now.
Okay.
You take literally a capful, and it tastes great, and you're getting your daily supplement of greens, and it's so good. Your body craves it, oddly enough. Yes. Like I drink mine after my meal in the morning, and I feel so good.
You take them both together?
I do. You don't have to. This is the multivitamin, and some multivitamins have that real, vitamin taste that it's hard to get down. Mm-hmm. This, you can taste the vitamins, but it's not hard. It's I'm not sure what flavor it is. This one is tropical fruit, and it's a capful, and I just drink it out of the cap because it's just me at home. But you're married, you might want to share a tablespoon. It's got like a little kick. It's really good. Another one of the things that I take from Flight Sport are the reds. And I'm terrible about getting all my fruits and vegetables and like the colorful, fruits that they say to get, apples. I'm really bad at it. So when I'm filming or when I'm away from home, I don't need that in there. You just take a little spoon of this. So you just take a little, comes with this little scooper. And you take a scoop of this red powder, and you put it in this little, and then I just drink it right from here.
And how's it taste?
It's so good. I have to make you one. Wow, you're just getting a ton of stuff. All your reds. Beetroot juice, blueberry extract, papaya, fruit jack, organic raspberry leaf. Raspberry's very good for you.
As are
all of the other things.
Ingredients.
Sour cherry fruit, which is kind of tastes like that. Cranberry, it's good for your kidneys. Cranberry fruit juice. Elderberry, that's excellent for your immune system. Pomegranate, it's just filled. It's packed with a red's punch. So I can't say enough about this. This will give you a little bit of energy, and you're getting your reds in it. I highly recommend flightsport.com all in one swoop. I mean, took me less than a minute to get all the good stuff.
And that's once a day?
And once a day, yeah. And they've got a lot of different products, so I encourage you to just visit their site and check them out. And they're wonderful people.
And how would they find them?
They're at flightsport.com. I'm tongue-tied, so flightsport.com. I am literally so excited about today's guest.
Why is that?
I am. What? Why?
Why is that?
I'm actually, my hands are sweating right
they?
now. I'm not going to cry. I'm literally like sweating. I don't know. It's so gross. How weird, huh? It could just be a hot flash. But, okay, so here's the thing. And I'll talk about this when he comes in on the show. But in a few minutes. I can't even formulate my thoughts.
Across the table from your
No, I have to be 6 feet apart.
dream.
Well, here's the thing. When I grew up, all of us would race home and watch all these shows, right? You know, I've said that about Batman and General Hospital was the show of all shows. It was like huge. Friends. Huge. It was huge.
My fraternity watched it.
Well, that I wouldn't admit that.
No, it's a soaps.
It is a soap. But we wanted to see what was going to happen with Luke and Laura.
On the island and the
Frisco Jones. And so...
And Rick Springfield.
But no, we have on today Jack Wagner.
Yay.
Yay is right. I mean, that song, All I Need, got me through my adolescent years.
You were going to blush.
I am blushing. I'm not even here yet.
Tongue-tied. You know what? To start the episode, just stare at him for 3 minutes and see if he looks
Oh, that's like creepy. I don't want to be a creeper.
Follow him out to his car.
Well, he and I were kind of joking because I actually did reach out to him on his Insta, and I was like, "Hey,
would you?
No,
if you're not busy,
I was telling you, I literally reached out and said, "Do you want to come on my podcast?" You know, he has a show coming out or is on already. When Calls the Heart, and it's
not yet.
It's premiering on the 21st on Sunday, and it's on the Hallmark Channel. And I love Hallmark movies and that channel, and so I just thought, hey, why not reach out to him? And he actually is gracious enough to respond. And so we connected and talked, and so he's going to come on. But, you know, I will say I secretly had a crush on him as a kid. And well, I don't know, you know. I'm not going to speak about that now. I need a fan. I need a fan. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, the guy is very accomplished. He's a very talented actor. Career. He's a producer. He's a musician. He has done just about everything there is. He's also a stage actor. So he's...
Truth be told, before we started filming this, Cory was singing at the top of her lungs to
Out of Key.
Well,
can I sing it now?
Yeah.
No, I can't. Probably can't. You can only do like 5 seconds. Oh. All I need. Well, you know, listen, he's been in the business for over 30 years. I respect that. He's still working. He's had a great career. He's continuing to, and it's not an easy thing to get work in this business, and he's sustained an incredible career. So I'm very excited to have Jack Wagner in the studio today. So you could just press record and go have lunch with your wife if you want. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm very excited to have Jack Wagner on the show today. He's Jack Wagner.
Yes.
I mean, you must be too. I mean, your
I'm
fraternity.
thrilled. He was my crush for years.
Your man crush?
No, I remember. I never watched soap operas in high school, but when I was in fraternity, you don't have classes from 12 to 2 or whatever. So people got into General Hospital, and I remember getting hooked on the Luke and Laura story.
Yeah.
But then I remember Christmas break, and I was at the mall thinking, I got to get home by 12 or 1 o'clock because the show's on. And I said, what am I doing? I'm arranging my day around a soap opera. And then I stopped watching them. But now you can watch a show at any time in the world, so it's much better.
You know what's funny, Bob, is that you were watching it when you were in college, and I was in
You were already working for 20 years.
I was in grade school.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I was. I was in high school.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
well, the show ran
freshman in high school.
25 years or
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we were watching the same episode.
That's what it was. I think it's still on. I don't know.
Last I heard there was only 4 soap operas that are still on, and that was a couple of years ago. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
They, killed them. Oprah, Ellen, they killed all the
yeah, they did.
But at one time there were about 10 or 12 on. Then there were 3 or 4 on at night with Falcon Crest and Dynasty and Dallas.
Well, did you know a little fun fact that I was on The Young and the Restless?
I did not know that.
I was on The Young and the Restless.
And your character was?
I was a nurse.
Did you have a speaking part?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I had a speaking part.
He's dead, Doctor.
yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
No, I remember that. It was Dr. Jones, Code Blue to the operating room. Was that your voice?
No, I was actually, I was just a nurse, Janet or something. It had like 4 episodes. I really didn't do that much.
Are you sure? Because you were Janet in Motivation.
I was also Janet in Motivation. I was also Janet Snyder in 90210.
Were you really?
I've been Janet. Maybe I should have been named Janet. Yeah, I was
or
Janet.
Karen.
Didn't Schneider? Was it Schneider? Or Karen? That's the way you edit it, though. Yeah. No. Okay.
You're nervous.
I'm super excited. I need some water.
Okay. Why don't you get some Aqua 9? There's right on the... Take Jack's water.
Is it? No, I'll get
You want to give him a new one?
No, I'm really excited about this company.
Yeah, they're
Aqua 9.
great.
It's great tasting. This water tastes great.
I was talking to Jay Michael, and he's going to hook me up with the purifier in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So you have it in your sink, and you've got 9+ pH water coming right out of the
that's
tap.
great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Aqua 9.
Hey, let's start the show.
This is how it goes here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Coriolis Effect.
Thank you.
Today we have a very special guest who I'm actually
Heartthrob.
swooning. I'm swooning over right now. Literally, like, talk about a hot flash. My hot flashes are having hot flashes. We have Jack
Yeah,
Wagner.
you get this word.
I can go now.
Yeah.
My day's been made. I've gotten all of my needs filled.
I mean,
Thank
I'm
you.
just
Yeah,
saying.
it's getting bigger and bigger and
Like,
bigger.
I rushed home to get to you, just so you know.
This scar is for when
I did.
You were in the way.
to watch
Bob was in the way.
He was in the way,
You're
but,
so sweet. Thank
but
you.
I literally did. You started, well, you didn't start, but General Hospital was on when I was a kid, and we couldn't wait to see. And first of all, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You do.
Thank you.
And I am. This is
You're
exciting
sweating, I
for
can
me.
see it.
No, wait,
You're
it
so
really
cute.
is. It's true though. It really is. I know. Don't make me cry.
I will.
Okay.
Tissues are ready.
If you go to emotion, I'm here. Bob's here. We're here. Okay. I'm a crier too. So
Are you?
yeah, no, for
Oh my
sure.
gosh! Well, look. I even
Yeah.
have a little
We're
special
all set
tissue
up.
box.
I
I
love
know.
these little things you have here.
Well,
a lot
but
of stuff.
honestly, you are so gracious to come in and be on the show, and it's like life is really coming full circle for me today. Like, it's been a special day.
Tell him what you were doing before he came in.
I was talking about him.
No, you were singing.
Oh, I was singing your song. Okay, so
Oh.
I used to sing your song in a hairbrush. And I was like, I literally would, and I was singing All I Need. It did not sound great. You obviously did it very well, justice. But I would love to know. I know, people are like, gosh, can't she speak today? I don't usually have a problem speaking, but this is like
You're doing really
exciting for
well.
me.
I've understood every word you've said.
Battling along nicely, eh?
It's been all about me, so I listen a little more.
That's true. Well, that song is
Yeah.
still a hit song.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it
Can
does
I-
stand up, you
it
know.
stand
The
up.
production is clearly 80s, you know, and kind of power ballad, but still it's a great chorus, you know. The vocal on the song is actually a really good vocal, you know,
it's
and it was
great.
one of my first times I've ever recorded in recording studios. So that song came about, Cory. You know, this was sort of a manhunt for this character, Frisco Jones, on General Hospital, right? And I was kind of like out of drama school and a thespian and classically trained, and I'm not going to do a soap opera. And sure enough, I started auditioning for this, and
We
it
all
was
said that.
yeah, we all said that, and but I had a lot of jobs. I was a tour guide at Universal Studios, and I was a bartender, waiter, and different things. But so I get to the 5th screen test of this. You know, I'm down to the wire, and they call at the end and they say, "Hey, do you by chance sing or play the guitar?"
Oh,
And I go, "Yeah, I do." They said, "Well, could you bring your guitar in and do something?" So I kind of like just knocked out a little Kenny Loggins tune, right? But I've never been in a recording studio. I've just done musical theater and sing a lot of songs on my guitar. And I got the part, right?
Wow.
And so the first thing I had to do was go into a recording studio before I even went to the set and record 2 songs. And I was coming in as the lead singer in John Stamos' band, Blackie.
Wow, I remember.
So, yeah, and Rick Springfield had just left, Luke and Laura had just left, Johnny's leaving, you know, and I'm kind of coming in here, you know, on the cusp of the heat of this General Hospital,
Yeah.
which was massive. So I go to the recording studio, and the woman who was handling ABC daytime music had just come from Mercury Records. And she heard me sing, and she's like, "Are you interested in a record deal?" And I'm like,
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
and
if
so
you're handing them out.
Yeah, I had dinner with Quincy Jones the next night
Wow.
and signed with Quincy Jones.
Wow.
And then he assigned a couple writers to my album, and they wrote All I Need, and it became a #1 record. So there you have it.
Okay, well, when you sing those words, it's like,
Because you're all I need.
That's those, yes. Those words.
It's like you're singing to Cory.
It's like you're singing to me. Really.
I was just singing to
I
you.
know you were.
That was you.
That's what I'm saying. And to think that I would have that right now, and back then I would have given anything to have heard those 3 bars.
And you were maybe
extended.
2 or 3 years old back then.
Well, sorry. Keep doing that.
Just keep making all the noise you can.
But you know, the sign of, thank you for the compliments, but the sign of a hit record is that it can stand up generationally.
Yeah,
You know, and that
it is.
chorus is just, one of those choruses that's singable and recognizable.
Well, it has what they like to call in the music industry as an earworm. It has that,
It's a hook. It gets
It's
in there,
a
right?
hook.
It's a hook.
Yeah, and it's one of those that kind of resonates
Yeah.
with you. I've been singing it all morning. I'm singing it right now. You just can't hear it.
I see it though.
It's going over
I
and
can
over
feel
in
it.
my mind. I
I can
know.
feel it.
I know.
Yeah. And it also, it came out right at the end of '84 around Christmas. So it was one of those, so many people over the years have said, that was right at Chris, what I mean, the romance of a holiday and all of that. And then it kind of went over into '85. And it was just an incredible time for me because it was all so new. I was so ambitious, like you seem to be in your career, which you really have to be. I've always been very ambitious in my career in all aspects. So.
Well, and in this business, there's just so much rejection. And so my mom used to say to me, because I'm very sensitive, and she used to say to me, you better chin up and you better get a thicker skin, and this business will give you one.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
will literally give you a
But that's
thick
the
skin.
beauty of it.
Yes.
It's like you kind of get conditioned. I just literally have gone on a couple self-tapes, which is the new auditioning now for anybody who's out there.
Yes.
And I hate auditioning. I've always hated it. I've had roles offered to me, right, in my career. But now it's like they want to see an audition, so self-taping is such a pain in the ass. But I push myself to do it because I want to do other projects than what I've been doing. And it also kind of tests me, do I really want to put the time in to learn these 8 pages of scene work and come up with the direction and make choices? So I'm sure you deal with that too, right? You kind of have to push yourself.
And let's talk about that for one
Yeah,
second,
sure.
because I think it's interesting. I when I first got here, I was flipping through my Thomas guide, right? This is how long ago I came. And, you're trying to find parking and you're preparing for an audition for 2, maybe a week if you're lucky. If you're lucky,
Yeah.
sometimes you get it the day before. And now we do have this ability to self-tape. And I'm wondering, do you like self-tape better or worse than actually being in person? Does the energy of being in person lend itself to a better performance? Or is it better to do 6 self-tapes and pick your best performance? Which one do you prefer?
I'm a big fan of live.
Yeah.
That's just where I feel most alive, and I feel that's where the heat really is.
Yeah.
And I want to be in the heat. I want to walk into a room and be prepared. I'm never on book. I don't take sides with me.
Wow.
And it's like you have to adjust to a room, and that's where I think, like even concert dates, Broadway for me, the things that I do that are live test me the most. And I want to be tested.
Have you done theater?
Yes.
A lot?
Hello.
Yeah, a
Yes.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm a theater guy, and then I kind of became a TV guy, and then I've gone back to Broadway.
Your training was in theater?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I came from a drama school. I'm a big advocate of educational drama for, young actors. That way you get to be normal, yet still be in a drama department, and if you want to go to the football games at a college, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you just know you want to be a performer, there's always, drama schools that just do that. But I kind of like the normalcy of a college. And I went to University of Arizona. Yeah. And I was an athlete in high school, but I also did plays. I was the pot-smoking athlete drama school guy.
What did you play? Did you play basketball, football?
Yeah, basketball.
But you're also a golfer. Did you
I was a
golf?
golfer with no team. I was just self-taught and just
That's
kind of
awesome.
took to that sport, yeah.
Yeah, but you are, what is it? What did they say? You were, I can't read my own writing.
You're so nervous.
Like a scratch
I know.
golfer. You would call it a scratch
I
golfer. Like I was going to be a pro. Like
You
I was
were
that
gonna be a
level.
pro.
Yeah. So I'm kind of that level of golfer my whole life, yeah, where I can really, really play well. I won a lot of tournaments.
Wow.
Golf tournaments, like individual, not team things.
Right.
So it's been something that's fed me a lot. I've been able to vicariously still live that career. I've won a lot of money playing golf because I play in kind of
you're,
celebrity
like, serious
professional
about
events.
it.
Yeah, because NBC's kind of developed this whole, few tournaments over the last 30 years. And so for non-golfers, but for real golfers, I get men are always about golf with me. Women are about Frisco, Dr. Burns, whatever.
I have a set of golf clubs. I'm not about. I can go.
Okay, well, you
Yeah,
qualify.
I
Sounds like
qualify.
there's a
Well, ask him this question. Do you prefer the 60-degree wedge? Do you prefer the 54-degree wedge?
Exactly.
60. You make magic happen at that
Ball,
club.
ball goes up too high.
Yeah. But anyway, that kind of, that's kind of what I've done. I've been able to gratefully, act and still play golf, at a very intense competitive level and, still do music when I want to.
You're still performing then?
I played last year. I played Graceland just for a date
Did
that
you
I was
really?
asked to do. Yeah, and I'll throw the band together for something here or there, but I don't chase it like I used to.
Yeah.
It's more kind of organic. If I use it in some Hallmark projects, a few movies, I do play guitar and write some things for those projects.
Well, let's talk about that. Hallmark.
Yes,
You're
let's do it.
on a show, When Calls the Heart,
Yes,
for 8 seasons.
I know, right?
And that that's a long time. Hey, we're lucky if we get like one guest star appearance in a show, and you're 8 seasons in.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's pretty incredible, this little show.
It is,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm glad we're talking about it.
I
'cause
love
it's,
Hallmark.
I've been lucky enough to be on some like General Hospital, and Melrose Place went for 7-8 years, and then I was on The Bold and the Beautiful for 8 years, and it's still going, that show. And now to do 8 seasons of this little pioneer town on the Hallmark Channel, the cable network, right, that has really gone through so many obstacles of losing its leading man, losing Lori Loughlin, right,
Yes.
who, we were opposite each other for a long time. And, the show's ratings have gone up, since those two kind of really, you'd think would be really tragic losses for a series. And this has nothing to do with them. It's just a testament to this little show that people love. And it's a family-friendly show about this pioneer town at the turn of the century. And we've introduced the telephone. We've introduced the railroad. We've introduced the automobile, and all of this stuff. And it's really about kind of this community that's really about hope and heart with some romance. And I try to add as much comedy as I can all the time. And I think that's really what's humanized my character, because he was pretty black and white when he came in. And now I allow him to be much more affected. And so we see his underbelly, and you get to see his frustrations. And so I think there's a charm to this show that people really relate to.
Yeah, I got to tell you, there's only 2 channels on with my wife, Cooking Channel and Hallmark.
Okay.
And she's on Hallmark, especially when Christmas comes around. But yeah, she watches it nonstop.
Yeah.
Oh
And they
yeah,
have a
Hallmark
great
is a great channel.
Yeah.
I love them.
And they're known for their Christmas movies, but this series has really become something that no one expected.
You produced a series or a movie, The Wedding
March, yes, with Josie Bissett.
Josie Bissett,
And I'm
yes.
executive producer. I kind of
Yes.
created this, and I star in it. So we're heading into the 6th movie in this franchise. So it's kind of a franchise.
Do you sleep?
Oh,
You are constantly working. I mean, this business, a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to break into this business. And then once you're in it, to stay in it and have some form of longevity. And you have managed to exceed, I'm sure. Even, I don't know, maybe you expected that. I don't know. But you really, truly have sustained an incredible career in this business.
well, thank you.
Well, you do. You have. Your work
Thanks.
speaks for itself. And, booking a show as an actor is different than producing or getting something, that you've written in the can.
Yeah. Well, this kind
You've done it
it's
all.
about relationships. It really is. There are managers and agents, but, unless you're really an A-lister where they can kind of call in those things, it's really, this movie series that I have with Hallmark, as well as me being on the show for 8 years now, really came about by kind of like a dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, tell us
The
about
CEO, well, there was always a dinner, so I did the end of the first season of When Calls the Heart, and so they said, you want to do the first 2 of the next season? I'm like, yeah, okay. So they put this cast dinner together, and we're up in Vancouver having dinner, and the CEO of Hallmark is like this and that, and he goes, hey, do you want to do the whole season? And I'm like,
I hate it when that happens.
I don't, yeah, I guess so, right?
Wow.
And so the executive producer of the show, knows now that this is going to happen. He's going like, okay, I'm going to make you executive producer of this book. We're going to turn this into a script, and I'm going to give you X amount of dollars to be executive producer, but you've got to sell it to Hallmark. So that's how this movie, and this book was about kind of betrayal and this and that. And I'm like going, this is awful. Like, this needs to be about, like these two have to be, and then I came up with a pop star from the 80s, me,
Right.
and then his college girlfriend, and they write songs together. He gets a record deal, goes off, right? And then 25 years later, he owns this wedding lodge with his daughter's there working, and she's getting married to her real estate agent with a daughter her age, and they come up to my wedding lodge to get married, and when they see each other, it's a drop the platter moment. Oh, right. And that's how I sold it, just like that. It's a drop the platter moment.
Wait,
and
so
the Hallmark
Cory-
execs went, sold, you're in development. And that's how all this happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So basically you have the spirit of excellence is what we like to call it. 'Cause
No, I
things
just have a
happen.
line of BS that I can kind of sell on the spot. It's not excellence.
Oh, I'll buy it. I'll buy
I always
it.
love going to Jerry's Deli and looking around, and you see two kids with a computer and an older actor, and you go, there's going to be a movie 6 months or a year from now, and they're writing the script right now with that guy. Like,
Yeah.
I saw, it wasn't Jack Lemmon, it was one of the, maybe it was Jack Lemmon. I'm like, no, who's Angelino's father?
John Voight.
John Voight. And he was with two young kids, and I was with somebody who said, 2 years from now, there'll be a movie with these people in it. And I'm sure they were doing it, writing the script and get them.
Yeah, and that's right next to Crown Media where Hallmark is. And I met John Voight and had dinner across the table with him
Right.
because he did some Hallmark projects. And so I got to ask him all about Deliverance and Ray Donovan. And I'm like sitting here just taking it all in, right? So
Deliverance.
It's amazing when a star meets their idol.
Yes.
You know?
Hello.
Well, yeah, I mean, just
hello. Yes. I'm
I-
not saying. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm
No,
just
no,
a huge
it's-
fan, and is it okay? What?
yes, it's
I
lovely.
think it's okay
Thank
to
you.
say that. I mean,
It's
I've been in the business for a
incredibly
very
flattering.
long time.
Thank you.
And so, very long time. And so, to sit across from people that you've respected and watched and followed their career is a blessing.
Oh, good. Well, that's very kind of you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So tell us then. I know you have like a story about how you got General Hospital. I want to hear how you got that audition.
Oh, that was kind of a series, just a series of auditions. I had actually been on a show a year earlier. When I first got to LA, I got my first audition. And from that, I got a different agent from this little series I did. And that agent got me this general. So it was kind of a standard, regular audition thing. It's just the process of getting it was like really, it was really a long process.
And it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can go to network and not hear. It's like crickets. You don't hear from them for a month or two or even 3, and then you'll get the phone call and say, "Oh, hey," and that's already long gone, and then you book it.
You know what else happened? I want to speak to just what I mentioned earlier, just about how I am a real advocate of educational drama, in colleges, et cetera. But when I was auditioning the final screen test, Gloria Monty, who was like, the producer back then who took the show from being canceled to #1, she brought me into a room and improv with me, right? And I had studied improvisation. So, just those tools that you learn in drama school and classes and being able to do things wrong in front of your peers and doing a lot of plays and doing different genres, different styles, you really do learn a craft. You kind of can relate to just starting to get in touch with, this inner performer, because we all have so many things we can do. Right? And we observe people, and we all are thieves. We steal little bits from here and little bits from there.
That's a good way to put it.
And, I have sat and, I've played a ton of golf, God rest his soul, with Sean Connery, Jack Nicholson, Clint Eastwood, right? I've seen these icons through golf, and I'm sitting there, and when they talk, it's like,
You're right.
they're just that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who they are. They don't have to do anything. They just seem to have this quality, and then they layer it with a few colors here or there, and you've got this really interesting, right? And that's what I always go, what can I do here that's interesting? Usually for auditions like we talked about, right?
Yeah.
What can I do even in scene work that might be interesting? And then you kind of get a little direction, and that's how you build a performance.
No, you're absolutely right. Actually, this is a little fun fact. I have my hair and makeup license, and I did hair and makeup while I was, pursuing my acting career.
Yeah.
And I found myself in Dustin Hoffman's house doing his wife's makeup. And I don't know if you've ever met Dustin Hoffman, but sitting across
Just like
from
a hello,
him,
yeah, just a...
it's like talking to the Rain Man, The Graduate, Tootsie.
Yeah.
There's just little pieces, and I like what you just said, to your point. You layer them.
Yeah, you layer them. Because we
layer
have to
them.
draw on who we are.
Right.
You can't escape that because I'm a
No.
TV guy,
Yeah.
but I've played Jekyll and Hyde on Broadway.
Right.
I've done The Country Wife by William Wycherley. I've done classics, right? I've done where we get masks We get hair pieces, we get, we get costumes, and those masks are amazing because then it's not like you're like this completely exposed, kind of like, I always said take Dustin Hoffman, Jack Nicholson, and Robert De Niro and put them on a soap opera for 6 months, and we'll see how long their bag of tricks lasts.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Okay?
You're so right.
And it's no criticism against them, it's just that on
it's
TV,
different.
you just are sort of exposed all the time. And,
You really are.
It's also the number of episodes on a soap opera. Because there are no reruns. You just keep making new ones and keep going.
Yeah. So you
Right.
just kind of have to go, what am I going to do here to make this as interesting as possible, And it serves you sometimes. And other times, I think it's really can develop some bad qualities because actors have this go-to thing that doesn't, and you need to kind of grow out of that. So I've kind of always been a little self-aware of that. And directors that I work with are always like, my tendency is to be a bit terse and curmudgeon-y because I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. It's not appropriate. Yeah, you're coming off really angry.
Funny.
But it's funny. But it's not
It's
funny.
not funny.
Funny is 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay.
If you get 7 out of 10,
I love
people
that.
think you're
I'm
funny,
stealing
you're
that
good.
from you, Bob.
Cheers.
Yeah.
But I
Well, have
wanna-
you seen the movie La La Land?
Like 30 times.
Do you remember the scene?
Yes.
Obviously, you remember where she's sitting in.
Quote the dialogue.
She's literally in an audition. I've had these moments where you're just giving it your all. You're sobbing. You've practiced your scene for in front of the mirror, your family, your dogs, your light switch, and you get in there with the casting director.
Thanks. Thank you.
No,
Thank
no.
you. That'll be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, next.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no.
I feel bad for you. I'm
But
sorry.
it's true though, and in that moment, have you ever had those moments, or is this, you're just Jack Wagner?
No, yeah, we've all had them.
You're
Like you
Jack Wagner.
said, yeah. No, like
This is where he's going to superimpose big hearts, not little ones.
And the music.
Big ones. Yeah.
yeah. No, we've
All I
all
need.
had them. They're really rough.
Well,
they are
They're brutal.
Can you think of one?
Tell us from when you would do something like Falcon Crest aid number 3, and then 2 years later, or however many years later, you're on Time Magazine or on TV Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember the Falcon Crest? Probably one line
Remember the
really
Falcon
bad?
Crest guy number 3, and I got several of these because I just went into a casting office because I was a tour guide at Universal Studios, and I just gave them my picture and they threw me a bone.
Okay, that right there is persistence, and
Yeah.
there's a lot more stories. People have those stories more than not in this business.
Yeah,
honestly.
I was relentless. Yeah, I was really, really driven. And when I got General Hospital, I continued to do like off Broadway in LA, like little theater places here. And I took some dough and produced something, over at this theater and, starred in it. So I was always trying to keep my hand in that process,
Did you go to extend your acting ability with like Jeremiah Comey and Roy London? And
I
all
went
those
to
guys at
Stella
the time?
Adler.
I did too.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh, we're
gosh,
so connected.
we are.
Yeah, it's getting really real now.
You have no idea what you're doing to her.
Yeah.
You're in
No,
her
I don't.
dreams for the
I'm
next
so-
like 2 weeks.
No, I was
No, I
Stella
don't do
Adler.
that.
That's where I worked when I got out of
Yeah.
and started working on General
Van
Hospital.
Mar Academy. I mean, these were places that were really big back in the day that a lot of us went
Yeah.
to sharpen our skills, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get in there and stay sharp.
And stay sharp is like a gym. Do
Yeah,
you still, or you kind of...
Not anymore. It's who was in my acting class for about a year was Benicio del Toro. And Benicio was so unconventional. Just to talk about someone who, and I was much more, my choices were, now that I look back were, I had some interesting choices, but his were just so off the wall, very Brando-y. Right? Even in his
Interesting, yeah.
parts he
He
plays,
does. I think
they're
you're
all very he brings something unexpected to everything, right? Well, like I say, interesting. His are much more, unexpected and unconventional.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You can see that too when he's performing. So it's not a secret that I am dyslexic. And I chose this profession. Obviously, it's very difficult on a dyslexic.
Double tough.
I double tough.
Yeah.
I actually do better with improv, like you said. And so you just mentioned that you did improv, and is that something that helps you with your getting to where you need to go? Improv, like, do you stick to the script, or is it really? Do you feel like you can? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I'll answer that. I kind of feel you. It's okay. where I work now. No.
It's like
Okay, bring
people
it back.
that are just
Bringing it back.
listening.
Stay with me.
I actually have a brain.
Stay with me.
I do have
Stay
a
with
brain,
me. Bringing it
and I
back.
am smart, and I've accomplished a lot of things. But like
This
Jack
is so
Wagner's in
hard,
the
gosh darn
studio
it.
today. I know. Sorry.
Right here. I'm right here.
That's okay.
The self-judgment has
Thank
to
you
go.
so
You're
much.
amazing.
Look into his
Well, it's
eyes.
just- I
and
know.
talk.
I know. This is the problem. I can't.
So I'm going to tell you a great Melrose thing, okay?
Yes.
I'm doing a little episode in Montreal on a TV series. My agent calls, I'm off General Hospital, and I went to this other soap called Santa Barbara and took that down. That got canceled.
Oh, yeah, I know
So
that show.
he's like, hey, I've got a reading for you. They want to see you for Melrose Place. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing any soap, anything anymore. Yeah. And it's like, no, this is a really hot show, and you'd be working opposite Heather Locklear.
Done.
I'm like, okay, send me the script. So they kind of sent me the script. I'm in Montreal. I fly home, and I'm like changing everything in the scene. The scenes I have to do, just changing everything. So I'm making it like how I want to say it, and just gonna balls to the walls, right? Do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So Aaron Spelling's office, you had to go into his office because this was like
Yes,
they
I remember.
wanted to see me. So it's like he's got these, like along the wall, there's these benches that everybody sits in, and it's like you're in the middle of the room and you read with this casting director who's sitting in the middle of everybody. And I just kind of I was totally off script. She had no idea where I was, but I was just all kind of just
Raw.
really raw, really sexy. And I kind of went, got right in her face and did something really intimate, and then kind of marched out. And I remember Joe, what's his name? He was on the Jane Seymour series. Joe Broido, is it? Anyway, he and I were the guys. And he wound up getting this other series, and I got the part on Melrose Place. Okay, because and so when I go to shoot that scene, it's the first scene, and Darren Starr's executive producing. I come in and do what I had rewritten.
Yeah.
First day,
Of course.
and the director's like, I think you better call Darren, call production. I'm like, sure, okay. I mean, he saw me do this, like, hello, hey, Darren Jack Wagner. He goes, yeah, we do what's written. We do what's on the script.
Yeah.
And I'm like, humana, hi,
Yeah.
but I don't know what's on the script.
That's what I'm
He says,
saying.
well, that's what we do here. So I had to readjust and go and do what was written. So that
I
answers
know.
to your point. I have to rely on improv sometimes when I really feel liberated and
Yeah.
strong about my choices. And I just don't care.
Right.
Usually when you don't care, you
It's
get the
the
part.
best. You don't.
Usually get
You're
it.
right.
You
You're
get it when
right.
you don't care.
Jack Wagner.
Hello.
I know.
Hello.
Can I tell our listeners that I literally just met you? I reached out to you, and you were so kind enough to respond. Which to me,
I think I stalked you on Instagram.
I don't think you did. I think it was me. It was
You
me.
stalked me?
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened.
It was me.
Then I looked on your Instagram and saw how kind of funny and vulnerable you were.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is really, really adorable. So,
thank you.
yes, so I responded, and here we are,
Here we are.
talking about ourselves.
I'm more interested in you. So tell me a little bit about one.
I want to know some of the bigger roles you've played. Let's tell. Come on.
Flipping the script.
No, I'm flipping the script. Yes.
Wagner
Well,
is
look-
flipping the script on
Jack,
me.
look to your left on the wall. No,
my
the
God.
one in the corner. Beverly Hills Pawn.
I know you can't even tell it's me.
I know.
That's me on the right there.
Mm-hmm.
I did 66 episodes of this little. I know.
That's amazing. But you know how many chops you kind of polished on that show, right? That's like you were working. You're in it.
You know what?
Was it an hour episode?
It was a half-hour episode
Okay.
for the Reels Network. I've been in the business a long
I
time.
love that network, by the way.
They're great. Stan Hubbard is really one of the greatest human beings, and they're
I don't know who he is, but I like their
He's the
specials.
owner. Yeah.
Breaking
Yes.
the Band,
Yeah.
the autopsies. Sorry, I love those.
It's a little dark, though.
It's kind of dark.
I mean, this was their lightest show,
I like
and
dark.
it was really.
A little
you
bit.
seem so light to me.
I am, but
No,
there's a
it's
dark side in all of us.
not.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
I'll let yours come out, kid.
I don't know. I don't have one.
Be careful because it hasn't come out yet, and when it does, I'm afraid of what will come out.
My dark side is I literally am too sensitive. I think, and I can cry a little bit. We've established that. Yes, I think. I know. It's fine though. But yeah, it's not. This isn't about me. It's about you, Jack.
Well, we kind of just
We're
shifted
staying-
just to throw a little light
We
on,
did.
on
I
your
know.
career.
I
and,
know. I
like,
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
you've done more than that, though. I mean, you've plugged away here for a long time.
I have plugged away
This
for a
little
long
movie,
time.
right?
Okay, here I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
You're the first. You really are. That's very kind of you. It's very gentlemanly.
Well, I
of you.
wanna know.
That's chivalrous of you. Oh my gosh.
I'm from Missouri.
I know you are.
I open
That's-
doors for women.
Okay, stop.
I let
You
people
had
in
me there.
first. I
had me
pick
at
up
Jack.
pieces of trash
You had me, and I'll do your show.
that are on the street.
You had me at all I need.
Yeah.
So yes, I
Because
came.
you're all I need.
I sing too. We can sing together.
I don't
Write
think
a
so.
song. Okay. Oh my gosh! And you're honest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to play golf with him, and
You're
we're
not
not going
gonna
to sing
to me.
together.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Okay. Fair enough.
What's the matter, Jack? Don't want to lose?
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you'll play golf with me? Nope.
Yeah,
Two no's.
I might.
Well, I came here when I was and very young.
Where are you from?
I'm a small town up north of San Ramon.
In California?
Yes.
Okay.
Northern California, NorCal girl. I came here when I was 22. And everything that could go wrong did go wrong. My car was broken into. I got into an accident. Things just went wrong. I was a very naive, innocent girl coming to this big town, and it was scary, and I'm still getting used to it. And, I had to do what you did. I just was persistent. I called a friend of mine who called a friend of theirs, and I found myself on the Warner Brothers lot with Mark Wolper having a conversation, and he in turn picked up the phone and called Jerry Zeitman at the agency and said, hey, can you see this girl? And he said, sure. I called him for 2 weeks and he didn't answer, and it was crickets for weeks. And I opened up the paper one day and I saw that Sylvester Stallone had written, hey, whatever you need to do to get into this business, lie on your resume. And I was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm just not going to lie. So I packed up my resume, which had like 3 plays that I did in the 5th grade on it. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Fiddler on the Roof, or all those I was a tumbler, I was a tree, those plays. But I was like, hey, that's perfect. And I put it in a package. I went down to the agency and I said, I'm here to see Jerry Zeitman. And she said, 1 moment, please. And she went in the back and got Dino, his assistant. And he came out. He goes, Cory, I know you don't have an appointment, but Jerry will see you for 5 minutes. I sat in Jerry Zeitman's office. We had a great conversation. He sent me down the hall to Riva, and they pocket listed me, kind of a thing, whatever they do. And the next day I booked Disneyland, and I booked Silk Stockings, and I booked all of the guest appearances on like Pacific Blue. And
Did you audition, or you just?
I auditioned.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
but you got in the door.
I got in the door.
Yes.
And had I not done what you were speaking about earlier, which is get in the car, drive myself down there, and
take a risk. Yeah,
take a risk.
Take a risk.
I would not have really I'd probably still be waiting for Jerry Zeitman to call, even though I love him, he's great. But you can't sit around and wait. You really have to take action.
Yeah, there's a diving board, and sometimes it's easy to jump because you were pursuing something you loved and wanted to do.
Yes.
So that jump was okay.
Yes.
And then other times in life, there's a faith-based diving board where you just have to go, well, I'm going to fall off, and here I go, right?
Yes.
It's not about career or not about anything like that, but the career thing I find is a little easier to get out there because it's something we want or passionate about,
Well, and you have to be in this business. It has to be a desire in your heart.
Well, see, now people get a little more insight into your story.
Well, you also did God's Not Dead.
Well, I did. I've done a ton of movies. I've done a lot of movies.
Well, there you go. Well, that's awesome. Like what? Let's go. You can't say I've done a ton of movies.
This is not about me. This is about you, John.
No, but this is a podcast kind of YouTube thing.
Cory, but Jack Wagner asked you what you did.
This has to be about you.
I did a little movie called Basketball. It was a cult classic. It was with Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and I was in the opening of that. I played Brittany Kaiser. It's kind of a funny movie. My mom said it's a good thing I was in the first 10 minutes, because if I was in any more of it, she would have probably walked out.
Okay.
But it was a big movie. I've done a ton. I don't know.
Well, that matters.
I did a movie called God's Not Dead, which this is a great story, actually. I'd taken 13 years off to raise my child. A long time.
It's a long
in this
break
business.
as an actress.
Well, a lot of stuff happened, and I just wanted to be with her, truly. And I was talk about stalking. I was at every water polo game and PTA and Moms in Prayer, and I was a helicopter mom. Yeah. And as a result, it was great. It paid off. She did well. But I said to her one day, Ariana, I really want to go back to acting. And she said, okay, Mommy, well, let's pray about it. I know. And we did. Okay. And I literally ended up booking, my first thing back was a movie called Book of Esther, where I played a 5-line, character.
Yeah.
And then
But that's huge because it was back. You were back on the boards.
I was back on the boards, but this is how good God is and how fast He can move. Obviously, because I just met you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, take your time. This is healing.
Yeah.
This is what that is.
A friend of mine had said, "You'll never play a leading lady again. You're too old." And so I was at home crying, just sobbing, like, why? Why do you have this? Why do I have this desire to do this? Just take it from me, God. I don't care what I do. But your word says, delight yourself in the Lord and you'll give us the desires of our heart. And so if that's not the case, then just take this desire from me. And literally 3 days later, because I feel like God likes to do things in threes, I got the call to do God's Not Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a leading lady opposite Kevin Sorbo in this little $1.2 million film that's done over 100 million worldwide. And it's not the money and it's not the recognition. It's not that at all. It's the fact that when somebody says you can't or no, don't listen. Just keep going forward because honestly, it's not your plan. It's God's plan. Mm-hmm. And sometimes He shows up and shows off.
And if you really were going to say what would you love, I'd love to do a little film that's the one you would have probably loved to do. I'd love to do a little something that's not a big budget but small that I can really work on my, be a good character actress and a leading lady. That's you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
You put it out there and there you go.
Did, right?
Yeah.
And tell me, now can we go back to you? Are we done with me? Because I'm sweating.
I do have
over
a little,
here.
that's good. But listen, I got to share my first movie of the week was called Moving Target. Jason Bateman starred. I played the killer, right? And I was in General Hospital at the time. And I literally have run into Jason here or there. And now he's got this thing, Ozarks. And I've been a member at Bel Air Country Club in LA for like 36 years now, right? 37 years maybe. Mm-hmm. And he was at Bel Air maybe about a month ago. He and Billy Bush were playing golf. And I had come up from hitting balls and he's going, and there was a hat on and he goes, Jack Wagner. And I look over and I go, Jason. And he goes, dude, like the best villain ever in Moving Target. Like, I can't believe. And you look like, in the greatest golfer, like a sighting. It's a sighting.
That's awesome.
Every time we see each other, we always talk about that movie. And like he's got Ozarks now. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, what's going on with that? Because I'm from Missouri. I'm like, you do know that's where I'm from. Okay, dude. So I know. So we just had the best reconnect for like a half hour.
That is great. Oh my gosh.
And I'm so happy for him because he kind of reinvented himself from this TV guy. Yeah. And now he's really a feature film series director. It's incredible what he's done and raised a family.
Yeah.
So I really like him because he works hard and he was able to step out like you did and then kind of re-enter his way.
Yeah.
And I it's good to have a friend like that. And Billy Bush too, what he went through. And just golf has lended me just to switch this over, just what the things music and golf has, the relationships I've made through just the music business and golf. It's been pretty cool.
Golf is good because you're there for 4 hours and you got to talk about something.
No, but it humanizes people.
Playing, but you get to meet
golf,
people.
You really kind of get to know somebody because everyone is vulnerable on a golf course because you all feel like it's so embarrassing, the sport. Oh, and to be good at golf and to have guys recognize me for golf sort of allows, something to be vulnerable, because you don't have to do anything, right? It's just kind of golf. So it sort of humanizes you, and it's just been like this beyond, thing I've had in my life that was so... Well, this is kind of cool that I can play golf and meet all these famous people that, want to be good golfers. Yeah.
And so have you been filming during the COVID, or we've had 11 months off?
Yes, we started shooting one called The Heart in July. I did 2 weeks of quarantine and we were one of the first shows back up and running. Didn't have one case all season, cast or crew. But I was really almost in solitude for about 4.5 months up in Vancouver. So it was kind of like I went into monk mode.
They have a whole new system now, right?
How is it with the COVID compliance officers on set, and they've reduced the hours per day you can film, right?
No.
Oh, because I heard it was from 13 to 10, and they're separating the crew
Canada.
to different armbands.
Not in Vancouver.
Not in Vancouver, okay.
Yeah. No, we just kind of kept it clean. I tested twice a week. Everybody was tested almost every day. The crew twice a week. Yeah, but it was, we were a tight ship. We have a tight ship.
That's wonderful.
Hallmark has a pretty tight ship.
This is its 8th season, and
Eighth
it
season.
premieres on Sunday.
Sunday, the 21st, on Hallmark Channel,
Hallmark.
9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I know we only have you for like a short time, but we could.
Extended if I'm willing.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that to you, but I mean, we're
you kinda
7
are.
minutes over.
You kind of are.
Well, you have to understand, like, this is
My dream
exciting
for
for me.
50
Well,
years.
what do you?
No, I
I'd
mean,
have to get my glasses. I want to see your notes.
No,
here.
no,
This
you
is-
can't look at
Oh, you drew little pictures. There are
drew
little hearts on there.
hearts.
I'm kidding. They're not. Look at
She
your
wrote
notebook.
a big heart, wrote Cory Wagner.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's like,
Too cute.
no, I'm
Mrs.
not.
Cory Wagner.
No, but I really want to respect your time.
Okay.
I know. I mean, we can.
Well, it's up to you,
continue on.
Jack. If
Yeah,
you
it's up
have to
you,
go,
Jack,
we'll
if you have to go.
obviously.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to hit on that we haven't? I mean, let me
Well,
rephrase that. Hit
I
on.
would-
Just rephrase
I mean,
that.
more than Jerry
I
has.
think she. Yeah. I think
Well,
we
no,
covered
I would
that.
just like to know about, for those that are still swooning out there. Tell us a little bit about your life and your love life and stuff.
You're so cute.
I don't know. How,
Are you,
how do you
are you married? Or?
Is that wrong?
No.
Is it not supposed to ask
If he's okay talking about it,
I don't know. Listen, look, okay, it's not a secret that like the majority, although I'm going to give it away right now, and you just have to be
My
still,
fan base is female.
is female, but apparently Bob watched it General Hospital with his fraternity, which I just
my
found
fraternity
out.
was very big in a general
Yeah.
hospital.
Big time.
So-
Yeah, that was back in
Yeah.
the 80s. It was.
Yeah, it was like the
huge.
Bachelorette is now, right? So
Yeah.
tell us. I know you seem to draw people in when you're acting. I mean, you just have that je ne sais quoi.
In person, too.
If they say, well, I was getting there.
Oh, sorry. I jumped
And
in.
in person too, but what do you talk?
What do you
about
wanna
your
know,
personal
Corey?
life?
Let's just
And
get
I'm
it out
not
there,
getting
baby.
it out.
Come
I'm
on,
not doing
baby.
a great job of getting this out.
We'll cover it, okay? I don't really talk about that. I haven't on like
Perfect.
shows, but I will, okay? Because I think it's important because, relationships have a chance to teach us things. And I'm
I
finding that the
agree.
older I get, the more I get to learn. And it doesn't come without pain. So I spent the last 3 years in a long distance relationship, which I had never tried. So I tried it. It was a girl who was younger than me. So it had a couple things that were a little off and things I'd never done. And it had some real upsides, right? But I think the downsides were I think it taught me more about myself because I was looking for something, I'm a kind of guy that wants to fit a square peg in a round hole. We talked about that over the phone, right? When we first
Yeah,
met
that's my
earlier
story.
today. And it's like, that's sort of like clinging to this, what it really is deep down is a fantasy. I realized in my personal work on myself that I'll attach a fantasy to something that I want to make happen.
Yes.
And that other person isn't capable of being what my fantasy wants
is.
them to be. And I realized especially this past year being isolated so much and doing, a lot of personal work on myself, that's been my pattern in most of my relationships in my life. And it's not the other person, it's what I've acted out. It's what I've pursued to try to get this to be something that I want it to be. And I need it to be in order for me to be okay. And so my work, for a year now has been not needing anything from anyone to just be okay myself. But it was a real painful breakup for me. And I think it was painful for her, but I think she's in a much better place. I'm in a much better place. And when you get to that higher order of yourself, I like to talk that way.
Yeah,
Because it's a
true.
higher order of the self where we can not be in this low-hanging fruit of reactivity and,
Yes.
kind of like anger and jealousy and pain and kind of
Yeah.
reactivity, but a higher order where we actually can see the bigger picture, like look up here
Yes.
at the forest
Yeah.
and not like in the middle of the trees. And so I listen to people like Eckhart Tolle and Michael Singer, and I take great value in their workshops and teachings. And I just, I'm a big advocate of personal growth and, really checking in with people that know you, like I always call it, please help put my problems in their proper perspective because we can't get perspective of our own behavior and our own choices because our heads are crazy. So I really rely on other people, and they rely on me to straighten them out. Because when you're not emotionally involved, how many people can you help? You can see their problems, right?
Of course.
Like we're great Dr. Phils for people that are struggling.
Yes.
So, I mean, that was kind of a long answer, but I mean, I'm working on, myself and being able to be more self-aware of kind of these patterns I've acted out, trying to, in a fantasy, get something to be that it just can't be.
Not.
Yeah.
And so what would you say to someone who is listening that has gone through something similar? Because those are all great points, and we've all had heartbreak in some form, right?
Yeah, sure.
What would you say to them in moving forward and opening up their heart again? It's very, very difficult once you've been in the fetal position and you think something's going to go a certain way. 'Cause I've been there too. And then you pick yourself up and you go forward. But what would you say to someone who just can't, and that is just heartbroken and can't get past it or through it?
Well, the message is you can get past it and you can get through it. That's the message.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't. You can.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's that message center of I can't that keeps us sick, that keeps us small and keeps us fear-based. You can get through it.
You can.
Yeah, but you have to feel it to heal it.
So you say that.
You've got to sit in the pain, everybody. You got to sit in that. No,
We're sharing one brain, Jack.
We got to run. I want to run from that. Listen, we all have a tendency. This is human behavior, right? We we rush towards pleasure and we dash away from pain.
Yeah.
And the truth is, we need to slow down and stop running towards pleasure. Pause. Sit in the pain, and then take things really slowly, so that it's not so impulsive and in intensity, right? It's kind of more organic.
Yeah.
Because I to be very intense and impulsive and like it just feels so yummy. It's just so good. It feeds everything about me. But that's where I have to check in and kind of go, that's that's never served me.
Right.
It sure has felt good, but it doesn't really work.
Right. You're right. No, that's great advice.
Yeah, get to know somebody because it'll happen.
Get to know somebody.
Yeah,
Take the time.
it takes some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Try not to have a sexual agenda until you have at least maybe, seriously, 8 or 9 to 10 dates.
You're talking to the right person across the table from
That's
you.
that's not even, I mean.
Age pretty quick.
Yeah. So
20, 22.
Well, can I say this?
It's
Yes. Go ahead.
no, just the phone is just such an addiction. All of these apps, it's all very addictive. There's so much addiction in the world. Addiction. Take the phone away from somebody for 24 hours and they may completely lose their shit.
Well, it's immediate gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what the world's come
Exactly.
I had a pastor tell me once, and this is actually to your point, that there are 5 senses, how you respond and how you relate to somebody. Relationally, intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and sexually, being the last one. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you relate on these 4? Right? Most people go to the 5th one, sexually, and then they try to relate on the other 4. Relationally, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. Instead of going to those 4 first and then hitting the sexual part last. I can't believe I'm having this conversation with Jack Wagner.
Oh, it's true. It takes time.
I just had a moment of reality. Sorry, Jack. I can call you Jack.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It does take time.
It was a request of mine to call me Jack.
And I am. Thank you.
I still have to call him Mr. Wagner.
Yes, that's right. But it does take time, and people are in an immediate gratification mode, especially, like you said, with the phone and the iBook.
Well, I don't know.
iPad
Listen, nobody could have told me in my 20s to, hey, work on yourself and go slow. And, this is pretty deep stuff for people who are young and, it's
Well, you also reinvent yourself every 20 years. And if you go back and, like, if I met myself 30 years ago, I'd be like, you're an idiot, change. You're not going to want to be this way when you're my age.
I think it's less than 20 years.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can look back 5 years, 10 years and go, God, I never dreamed I'd be where I was now. But personal growth has to come with pain. It just has to come with it. Yeah, it does.
It does.
You really have to hit bottoms.
Rock. Solid.
Fetal positions. You got to be in the fetal position to be able to stand comfortably in your own skin.
It's so good. It's so true. And
Yeah.
I've been there, and I've learned a lot of lessons. And you know what? I wouldn't change any of them because you're right. I really feel like I've grown as a person, and I understand myself. I understand God. I understand life.
Yeah, and that's a fit for you. If you're faith-based, but 1, you can't change what's happened. But 2, you can choose to look at it and say, what an opportunity to grow.
Yes. And I don't want to do that again. God. I don't need that lesson again.
Yeah, but
Right?
you'll be able to make that choice
Yes,
because you're self-aware.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are speaking words of wisdom today here, Mr. Wagner.
It's kind of how I roll.
No.
This is it.
Can I ask just a couple more questions before? I know that I've already extended. Oh, I did. Okay,
Are we over an hour yet?
Yeah, we are. No, we're not over
I
an
planned
hour.
on about an hour 10 because I said 30 minutes.
Oh, good.
And
So
I already
you're
knew
47
that
in.
I would be so
So
seduced
kind.
by
You're
your
so
love and
kind,
kindness.
Please. That's so sweet.
Well, hold
That's
on.
so
You got
kind.
one more
I do.
question.
Well, I just forgot my question when you said seduced by your loving kindness. Oh, Jack. Oh, yes, I do have a question.
All right.
So, you obviously have maintained your looks. You are a very handsome man.
Thank you.
I'm
Appreciate
saying that because, this business is hardcore and we have to maintain a level of
Yeah.
that. But tell us what you do. Do you work out religiously? You have a skincare regimen? That sounds lame.
No.
People
I'll
want
give
to
you my
know
day-to-day.
now.
Okay, my day-to-day.
Your day-to-day, yes.
Yeah, I got up. I do spiritual work in the morning. I do readings. I pray. I meditate just for myself. And then I had a protein shake, right?
Okay.
I did 70 minutes on the elliptical, high impact.
Wow.
I had a lecture going on my phone, right? And then I went and made egg whites with organic spinach, broccoli, and zucchini. And then I came here.
Is that a normal day for you?
That's a normal day.
Is it?
Yeah, and if I don't do cardio, I lift weights.
Okay.
So I'm doing some form of, conditioning.
Yeah.
And I believe in body, mind, and spirit.
Yes.
It's what I teach.
Yes.
And it's what I believe in. Because I don't think we can drop the ball on how we look. Because, how we look is how we feel. And it's about self-care and self-love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a huge component, I believe, of how, what our attitude is. Because everybody can go, oh, I ate the whole bag of chips or I ate the whole cake and all that. It's like, well, if you did it, what are you going to do about, tomorrow? Let's go. Let's get in the saddle, baby.
Yeah.
We got to get in the saddle.
I know.
Let's go.
Listen, I'm with you. I
Yeah,
agree.
that's how I treat myself. And it's like I work with other men on this just in my life and lifestyle. And, we got to kind of get up. We got to get in the saddle, man. Nobody's going to do it for us. So that's
you're not.
how I roll.
And also, as you get older, motion is lotion. That's my tummy.
What was that?
Motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion.
You gotta stay active. You have to,
Yeah. I think I have to push myself, though.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Push myself. I want to raise the bar every day. And that's
Yeah.
what I talk about on When Calls the Heart. How do we raise the bar this year in the writing and the performances? What are we going to do this year that's going to make this show even more interesting than last year?
Now, are you heading into a 9th season?
Unless the ratings, something happens terribly to the ratings, I would think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think they want this show to go a long, long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they feel this is their little house on the prairie. That is a family-friendly show. This is what this is.
Yeah,
This
it's
speaks to
great.
family-friendly programming, and people are gravitating towards it. So
Well, yeah.
I would really hope this show has a lot of legs to it because I think it's serving I think it's serving a lot of things, not just clearly actors that are working and a network that's doing well, but that people feel good when they watch this show. It's just kind of
And
the
we
truth.
need that right now.
I think
we
so.
just so need that right now.
Yes, it's a place of safety.
It's filmed in Canada.
And
Vancouver, yeah, they built a pioneer town up there.
Okay.
for
So
us,
do you
yeah.
go up there and stay up there while you're filming for 6 months or however long you
I
film?
did this year because of COVID, but usually I can come and go.
On a week basis?
Mhm.
Oh, that's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I have 3 questions for you.
Was that one? So there's 2
No,
left? Oh, there's
I have
3 more?
No, you'll
3
like
more.
what that is.
I have a game. It's a
It's
game.
not a
that-
game. It's a psychological,
a-
psychiatric test.
Oh, is that what it is?
Bob,
Is that what
I'm
we're
going to
doing?
hand this to her.
Yeah, please. I'll
Thank
be
you.
quiet, yeah.
Go on. Tell me about your game.
That was so worth it.
Jack's never coming back.
Jack
Oh, we don't have any time slots for
Jack
you
has
again.
a standing invitation. Invitatione.
Open invitation.
Yes. Okay. First question is: tell me in 3 words, or tell me about yourself in 3
Describe
words.
yourself.
Yes.
can't
Describe
speak.
yourself in 3 words. I can't today. I've never had this problem, Jack.
Deep. Hardworking.
For sure. That's 3. That is 3. He's like, that's 3. And you're dyslexic. You're right.
Can I give one more?
You can give 10.
You said 3.
I know.
Well, hardworking technically is hyphenated. So.
funny.
You are funny. I give you that. You are funny.
I think funny is
You
so
are funny.
huge.
And you know what? To that point, laughter is really, truly the best medicine.
Yeah.
And if you can't laugh, especially at yourself, it's so, so important.
No, I enjoy laughing at other people.
Yeah. Well, we've done plenty of that.
No, you've always, like on the set, I love to get the crew, like it's engaging. Just laughter just seems to make the day.
Yeah.
And you're not always in that mood, but
Yeah.
I have a tendency to lean towards that just as fuel. Just it feeds me.
It's good.
Yeah.
Do you like to go see comics and
No.
Okay. I love it.
No,
Okay.
I don't have a big propensity towards liking people in general. So I just
Is
want
it true?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a joke.
Oh, okay. I'm very gullible.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
so you know, like really, I believe
He
everything
picked up on
you
that
say.
very quickly.
He's all, yeah.
Feeding
I
it.
know.
We'll just tell her.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It's not a problem.
It's not.
You be who you are.
It's a beautiful quality you have to be vulnerable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I have no other choice. Really,
That's it.
just-
I got
that's
no
it.
other choice.
I got no other choice.
Oh, I am.
Cory, was he being serious or was he?
I don't know, but who cares? Jack Wagner's here today. I'm so excited.
It's
Thank
just,
you.
well, you've proved it. Said you have 3 questions, you have 3 words, and you just gave me 10. You can have 10. So that's like a green light. Thank you. Thank you. You can have 10.
I'm like anything. Get him
Describe
whatever.
yourself in 500 words.
No. Well, we play this little test with this little whatever it is brain thing with everyone, and so I'm going to show you these 5
It's
pictures.
the Rorschach test.
The Rorschach.
The ink blot test.
No?
So you see the picture, whatever you see in the picture as fast as you can. Say
Hang on.
what it is.
Go ahead and explain. Finish what you were telling
Thank you.
me.
Jack has my back
just gonna-
today.
Wait till you hear her.
Thank you,
explanation.
Jack.
Go ahead, explain, Cory.
It's the Rorschach test, and you.
Don't show them the cards now.
Oh yeah. And you don't. I
Is
don't
this
show you the
mandatory?
cards.
Because I was going to leave a half hour ago, but I'll...
It is.
It is, okay. I love that you're just kind of controlling me right now.
No.
Go ahead. No.
I'm actually not. Actually, no. I shouldn't do that to you. You have the right to whatever you want.
Let's try it.
Okay. So just tell us what you see. I'll tell you what. I don't have to tell you what I see. You go ahead.
It feels like it's a bat. It looks like bat-like with sort of tentacles and sort of a tail.
Okay. Well, not all of them are going to look like that.
Oh my gosh, that looks like a bat. Tentacles and wings.
I love them.
Ah,
A female
wow.
bat.
No, this looks like a small bat
Okay.
with colors. Ah, that is so interesting.
That's
No,
Mother bat.
This one more like a bear bat. It feels like a bear because it has white over here, like a polar bear.
okay.
That looks like some sort of. It looks like a pear that has a mushroom top, and its roots are growing deep down under,
Wow.
so it can
Be eaten by
feed
a
the
bat.
world with pearness. I'm sorry.
I actually think that those were all very accurate. And hadn't seen any of those before, but now I know. And my last question is, and again, I want to preface this by saying, don't pick me. It's not me. This is not about me. But who is...
You.
You've asked every other person to pick you.
I did not.
Okay, go ahead.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Roger Federer.
I love that. He's a golfer.
No,
He
he's
is?
not. He's a tennis player.
Oh, he's a tennis player.
Yeah, no, he's, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the other. Really? You play tennis?
No, but I have a crush on Roger Federer.
Crush on Roger
Yeah.
Federer. That's awesome. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Jack Wagner, I know. I'm sweaty. I can't believe you're at.
Well, it's really hot in here.
It's
It is,
very
'cause we
hot
can't
in
run the
here,
air
and
Yeah.
it's because of the sound.
You let go.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got to
Thank
stay
you.
there.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming
Thank
in
you for
today.
having me.
You
What a
have
pleasure.
no, it's my pleasure. I'm grateful. And When Calls the Heart is on Sunday.
Sunday, the 21st.
8th season. You can
Yes.
check Jack out there on Hallmark Channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the love.
Yeah.
And we're out.